I was in my second year in high school with a pretty normal life. My mom was a stay-at-home mother, while my dad worked as a pastor and a high level in NSA. My dad was always a pretty busy man. He would work 8 to 3 every Monday through Friday and at NSA and would work Wednesdays and Sundays at the church. I was a very lucky kid. I would consider my family upper class, and I got most of what I had handed to me at this time. I was a very spoiled kid. But I like to think that I didn't know any better. At this time, I thought it was normal to have all these things when you were growing up in an area like I was. I played 2 sports, baseball and basketball. My whole life, and my family was at all my games. Overall, my family was very loving, and I'm very privileged for the way I grew up and even the situation that I'm in now. I went to school one day. I was just thinking it was a normal day. I hear on the PA system that I needed to head down to the office. I head down to the office and pick up my phone. My mom is on the phone and tells me my dad just had a stroke. I would not consider myself an emotional guy by any means. Even to this day, I don't even talk about my life or problems to anyone. But I remember that when I got that call, I immediately started to cry. We rushed to the hospital, and the doctors told us that he was still having strokes, and they did not know how to stop it. We stayed at the hospital that night because we thought that was the last time we were going to speak to him. At this time, he could not talk. Obviously, my mom was holding it together well, and my sister was in the 8th grade at the time and was not either. My brother was in college in Mississippi at the time, so he wasn't there. I had to try to hold it together for my family. That night, this nurse named Femi prayed over my dad. Coming from a very religious household, this meant a tremendous amount to my family. The next morning, the doctors came in and told us that the strokes miraculously stopped. They had no explanation what happened, but my dad has never had another stroke to this day. It took months and months for my dad to rehabilitate his speech and his ability to walk. To this day, my dad still can't walk how he used to, but it's getting better day by day. During this rough time, I tried to be the man of the household, do the laundry, cook, and clean. I tried to help out the best I could because my mom was struggling. The medical bills would definitely set us back financially for a while. My dad was getting disability at the time, but it was only 75% of what he was originally making. It was a struggle for a while, but I would say that moment was a defining moment in my life. I like to believe that I was a boy before this, and it made me start thinking like a man. I had to start thinking for other people besides myself. I had to manage my schoolwork, housework, and college applications, and at this time, I had to get elbow surgery for an injury from the way I pitched in baseball, which stopped me from ever pitching again. I had a lot going on mentally with no one to talk to, so it made me think of what I needed to do now to be successful for me and my family. I believe everything happens for a reason. This was a tough time for us as a family, but we got through it, and now we are better people because of it.